And there's the look at the quote-unquote progress of the Eglinton Station LRT entrance. And this is the open to the public rooftop patio at the Young Eglinton Center. And hello, it is Sunday, November 5th. The time is 11:55 a.m. and the temperature right now is around 8 degrees Celsius. As I struggle to flip the camera back around, and there is a glimpse at a northbound shuttle bus. And once again, the TTC is running shuttle buses for this stretch of Line 1 over the weekend. They're running between Finch and St Clair Station. And I need to make my way downtown, but I'm not too fond of the shuttle buses. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting them out of my trip, at least my trip southbound, and I'll be walking south down Yonge Street from here at Yonge and Eglinton down to St Clair Station. Then once there, I'll hop onto the subway. That's probably when I'll end recording. We'll take a look up at the e-condos. I'm also experimenting with recording this one in HDR. I have not done a daylight video or a daylight walking video in HDR yet. At least not one available to the public. I did one for channel members and Patreon supporters. And I got caught in the shuttle bus fun yesterday. There's a look at the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton. And a southbound articulated bus. And the official excuse this time is track work, as well as accessibility improvements at Lawrence Station, which is just to the north of here. You'll still see people entering Eglinton Station to access the bus terminals. But this crosstown LRT is well over a decade under construction now, and there is still no opening date announced. It's definitely one of the biggest construction boondoggles in Canadian history. It's become a bit of a running joke if you live in this neighborhood. But there's been some very real consequences. A number of businesses have gone under. And on a daily basis, tens if not hundreds of thousands of people are inconvenienced by this construction work. And it should have been opened several years ago. There's an interesting matte black Hyundai Genesis. So there's Yonge and Eglinton. So let's start moving south. This walk should be about 2 kilometers in total. And the TTC seems to be addicted to shutting down this stretch of Line 1 on weekends. Often when I wake up on a Saturday, I peek out the window of my apartment and I hope I don't see shuttle buses. But a few weeks ago I did, and I did again yesterday. Although they do often post the closures in advance online. I think this is the last one for the year. Back in 2018, there was something in the neighborhood of 24 closures on the year on this stretch. But they were installing an automatic train control system then. Oh, hello.
Johnny?
That's me.
Oh, my dad watches you every day. He's in Russia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just watched you yesterday.
Awesome. Well,
Can we say hi to him?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Dad. We met Johnny finally.
You might see this in like 2 or 3 days on the channel. Maybe.
you.
All right, nice to meet you. Bye. Friendly viewers, something positive to be said for this video. But yesterday I came down to make a video downtown in the evening, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people standing here. We waited a very long time for a shuttle bus. So this is quite good to see a few people, although it is a Sunday morning still. This would not have been a bad time at all to take the buses, but I'm committed to the walk. And when you do get a big crowd of people standing around, you often have people cutting in line or no lines at all, and there's people that have been standing there a long time and they don't get on the bus, and then people that just showed up sort of push their way forward and get on. And the same thing happens at St Clair Station. Yesterday I was coming home and I ran into Yahya, a channel viewer. And as we were standing in line at the station, dozens of people just brazenly walked past us and cut to the front of the line and boarded the next bus. And Yahya had a shuttle bus tracking app open. And there were no southbound shuttle buses coming for at least another 15 minutes. So it's really hit or miss with these. But this is the Midtown Toronto area, kind of the heart of Midtown Toronto. Just south of Eglinton, heading towards Davisville. The brunch bar. I'm making my way down to Koreatown. I'll be meeting a friend for lunch around 1 p.m. This is a rather nice day so far. 8 degrees is a bit on the cool side. I have a do not walk sign, but I really don't think there's going to be any traffic coming through here. That bus is a little more full. So they're closed all the way from the northern terminus on this side of line 1 up at Finch, all the way down to St. Clair. Why couldn't they have this frequency of buses last night? They were few and far between. There was an enormous crowd of people waiting at St. Clair. There's a cool bicycle. So coming up at Davisville are the TTC headquarters. And I've always kind of wondered why the shuttle buses don't turn around at Davisville, why they always seem to go down to St. Clair. Davisville has a rail yard. It also has an extra platform. Stopping behind the line is a challenge for some people. Often there's no work being done south of Davisville. I think it might have something to do with the difficulty in turning around the buses, but there always seems to be a choke point as they head into St. Clair, and you get stuck in traffic for quite a while. And when it's really busy, you always kind of got a feel for the people waiting at stops like this one, because usually almost nobody gets off. And it's very difficult to get on one of these shuttle buses. There's the Toronto Transit Commission headquarters, where all the not-so-magic happens. into the bus bays at Davisville. I have a light jacket in my backpack, but I don't think I'm going to need it. And normally walking along this side of Yonge Street is kind of neat because you get to see subway trains come and go. But there will be no such luck today. You can see into the rail yard here. So if you know why they don't use this as the southern terminus for the weekend subway closures and not St. Clair, let me know down in the comments. I suspect it's just because St. Clair is a better place to turn buses around. But so often the work being done is at Eglinton, or in this case today, Lawrence. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind closing it for this stop. It'd be much easier to turn trains around at St. Clair. Every train feeds into the platform on the west side, so the northbound train has to sit there and wait for the southbound train to clear. And then everyone coming and going gets squeezed into one narrow stairwell. You'll see what I mean later on in this video. And this is the K. Gardner Beltline Trail I'm about to walk under, an old commuter rail from the 1800s. It only operated for a few years. David Spade's snake oil. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. There's Mount Pleasant Cemetery across the street. And you'll notice there's just one lane of traffic here. And that can definitely add to the choke point turning into St. Clair. Overall, it's a good thing that we have these dedicated bike lanes. I'd say in these shuttle bus weekends, this is really the only drawback. But it's entirely possible I might walk faster than some of these buses are going to get there now. There's certainly been days where it's felt like that when I'm on the bus. Let's see, that is bus 3449. Oh, it's bound to pull away here. What a gorgeous day. I am glad I walked. So this is the Deer Park neighborhood. And the intersection of St. Clair and Yonge is just south of here, one of the major Midtown nodes. Probably the second most well-known Midtown intersection. I would say Yonge and Eglinton probably takes the cake. And then Yonge and St. Clair, and then maybe either Bathurst and St. Clair or Yonge and Davisville. Okay, there's bus 3449. It's not really getting away after all. I'm reeling it back in.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Looks like there's a service going on at that church. I guess it would make sense. It's Sunday. I have passed you. Silly bus thinking you're faster than a guy with a camera. Yes, let's ride on the sidewalk on a street with bike lanes. And 3449 isn't able to clear the intersection. And I think up at this intersection, they really ought to do a better job controlling the signals to make way for these shuttle buses and give them priority. Just hold the traffic on St. Clair a little longer, which doesn't get too backed up. I think a single vehicle holding dozens of people should take priority over single occupancy cars every day of the week. And you can see the shuttle buses turning northbound out of the station. And there is the St. Clair Station over there. I think there's my arch rival, 2 buses deep. Well, if they clear this intersection on the advanced green, that bus will win the race. The suspense is killing me. No! It did not make it. Now, all I have to do is get over here before it drops people off, and I will have won my made-up race from an arbitrary starting point that I didn't even decide would be a race until I knew I was going to win it. And here's something interesting. People almost never tap onto these shuttle buses, and there's no fare inspectors in sight. And they never check at the entrance to these subway stations either. She just said, walk right through the gates. The gates are open. Okay. I literally followed the instructions of your own employee.
Southbound to your right. Southbound to your right.
And this is ridiculous. This is where everyone gets funneled to. And all the people coming off the subway come up this way as well. So when you have a lot of people coming and going, it can be a mess. But let's go take a look at where the shuttle buses are boarding. It will be just up here. Often there's a big lineup through here. What am I doing? I'm up a level. I don't need to be. That's the streetcar platform, but they are not running the St. Clair streetcar for quite a while. Good job, dummy. Often this hallway is just lined up with people going all the way back there. All the way to the very end there. That's where you would board the shuttle buses. Their bus frequency is more than adequate today. A stark contrast from last night. That's where the northbound shuttle buses depart. They don't leave those gates propped open. It's because it's not a drop-off point.
That's irrelevant. You know, they'll put it in their little pamphlet saying, you know, make sure you get enough sleep. Oh, of course.
Little pro tip. If you are coming north on one of these weekend closures, stay at the south end of the train. That way when you pop off, you can transfer up to the buses without having to wait in the big crowd, as you'll get there first. But there's my chariot. So this will turn around and become a southbound train. And the northbound train before it is going to have to stop and wait for this to clear it going south. So there's a bit of a train bottleneck as well. It's one of the reasons why I think Davisville would be a superior choice.
Line 1, North Finch.
But I hope you enjoyed this walk from Eglinton to St Clair, checking out the shuttle bus action. Ooh, something does not smell good on that car. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you like the daylight HDR, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, I'm gonna sign off now and make my way down to Koreatown. So, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.